The transition is entirely into Infestor Hydralisk. I don't think that's the best unit composition as a whole, but it'll help him out immensely against this mothership, as he can either Neuroparasite if he has that upgrade researched. He doesn't, but he can Fungal, which will actually reveal the vision, and that'll help him out quite a bit. We do see the Spire on the way as well, probably for Corruptors, and Kingavocado needs to move soon, otherwise he's completely missed his timing and kind of botched the game for himself. Now finally moving in toward the 4th base, there's 2 Void Rays already here harassing. In come the Hydras, but in come the army for the Protoss player. There aren't a whole lot of units here, but now the carrier's engaging over this cliff, and that's a perfect spot for him. There isn't, of course, any detections. All these infested Terrans are going to do a lot of damage. If he can get off a Fungal and hold the carriers under the infested Terrans, doesn't look like he's quite going to do that. All the air units, or all the ground units, excuse me, are gone. It's just the mothership and the carriers now. There's a couple of Void Rays, and here comes the Warp in. It's only Zealots, only 5 of them, in fact. There's still so much energy on these infestors. 2 more carriers coming to join the fight. Interceptors being made left and right. Now in comes the ground army. He doesn't know about these infestors. One good Fungal reveals all of this for the Hydras. This is a really tense moment. The army's literally touching each other, basically, and neither of them wiser. There's one observer on the way, finally. And now a little bit of engagement. They're starting to poke away at some of the interceptors, actually, which is kind of interesting. Now, all the infested Terrans coming underneath the mothership. He needs to engage in a different spot. There's the Vortex going down, but he's missed a lot of it. The Corruptors do fly into it. The mothership has fallen very quickly, and now the Protoss player forced to run these carriers not very fast. The Fungal growth holding him there, and the infested Terrans and the Hydras doing so much damage. Another carrier falls. 3 of them left, and they will escape over this little cliff. The pylon being taken down in the process. And while the Vortex was good, it's not quite enough. The transition into Corruptors now has all the anti-air in favor of the Zerg player. And now Kingavocado really needs to just switch into a very solid ground army and really focus on hitting his warp-ins. He's making another mothership, though. If we look at the Protoss army right now, 2 Immortals, 1 Void Ray, 8 Stalkers, 3 Carriers of Phoenix, compared to 23 Hydralisks, 10 Corruptors, and 7 Infestors. These are weird unit compositions, but they're working for both players. We see Eye of Darkness finally retaking his 4th, taking a 5th up here in a weird spot, even though he's got the slowest army known to man. And now moving across the map, he'll be able to take this pylon for free. And right now, Kingavocado needs units. He could even counterattack with these carriers, although they'd be much more useful in his army as they really deter a lot of what's going on. But right now, the switch into ground is what's completely needed. Hydralisks, not the best against any Protoss ground unit. They're pretty good against Immortals, which is why I'm concerned that he's making them. If he just makes Colossus, he wins the game. Well, maybe not. There's a whole ton of Corruptors. But a whole bunch of charge slots, Archons, High Templars. I'm just throwing out units right now. Any of those units he makes would win him the game. Unfortunately, he's really focusing on Immortal production, and that's exactly what he doesn't want right now. There's no Storm upgrade. He picks off the Observer there. Now headed over to the 4th that Kingavocado is trying to take. This is going to fall very quickly. We see everything being cancelled in a flurry. Kingavocado has a pretty gigantic bank, but right now he can't compete with this army. There's more Zealots warping in. Now, if he morphs in a couple of Archons and gets a Vortex with his mothership, although that mothership doesn't have any energy, there's going to be an engagement here. This is a pretty good spot right now for the Protoss player. There's a lot of ground army left. All the Zealots are gone, though. The cannons were helping out immensely. Now, we have the Templar. They do have Storm, excuse me, and Storms on top of the Hydras, and all of them melt. Only Immortals really remaining. A couple of Broodlords in production. There's not a whole lot of anti-air here. All the infested Terrans coming out. If he just retreats, this will be completely fine. And all this energy essentially wasted. They can kind of waddle up toward the 3rd and maybe do some damage to the cannons. We see a lot of Stalkers out now. They don't have Blink. There's, 5 Broodlords now, or at least there will be pretty soon. 5 Broodlords, 4 Corruptors, which means that the Mothership itself won't be able just to take them down. He's going to need more anti-air. Instead, he's making Immortals right now, everything on a little bit of cooldown. Now he's forcing his way in here. He needs to target down these Broodlords. One falls, a second one being targeted very quickly. I don't think there's enough damage here for the Protoss player. If there's a fungal growth, that wins the game for the Zerg. Now out come the Infested Terrans. All but one of the Broodlords are gone. Now that finally does fall. There's so many Corruptors, though. The Mothership has completed, although it's not doing anything right now. Where is it? Over here at the 3rd, just kind of chilling. There's a Void Ray and 2 Stalkers over here as well. Right now, the Protoss player needs production, and he needs it fast. And this is a ridiculous game. Let's check out the armies of our players right now. The Protoss player sitting on 8 Corruptors, a Void Ray, 20 Stalkers, 3 Carriers, which are all over here, by the way, I should point out. 1 Phoenix, 2 High Templars, and a Mothership. So basically the weirdest mixture of units. The Zerg player, meanwhile, sitting 4 drones ahead, not the biggest deal. 38 Zerglings, a Broodlord, 15 Corruptors, 7 Infestors, and 4 Queens. And now more Broodlords. 7 of them now. And that Mothership is going to be key. If he can get a good Vortex and get those Stalkers in there, that could win him the game. He really needs Archons, though. And I'm not sure he's aware of that. And both players actually taking bases near each other. The Protoss trying to take a 4th and a 5th, feeling a little bit money crunch right now. His 3rd's nearly mined out. Natural is mined out. Main mined out. There's the gigantic probe transfer down to the 4th. It's going to start long distance mining. In comes the attack, though, from Kingavocado. He really needs these carriers with him. Oh, if he has those, that turns the tide so much. Ooh, did he see the drone transfer? That's really key. I'm not sure he did. And comes the Mothership. He needs the carriers. This is breaking my everything, basically. +1 ground armor finally on the way. He'll be up to 3 3-1-1 upgrades. 2-0 on the Zergling, 0-0 on the Broodlords. He's going Broodlord, Corruptor, Infestor, Zergling, which is really weird. There is +2 ground carapace out, though. +3 ground carapace on the wells. Melee attacks level 1. Neural Parasite finally on the way. Fire carapace level 1. In comes the Zergling counterattack. This is a pretty undefended little section. There's 2 photon cannons going to be up. That's not going to be enough to hold, but here's where the real fight's going to happen. Down at the 4th base. The 4th does fall for the Zerg player, and will Kingavocado engage here? I don't think he can. There's so many units out for the Zerg player, so high-tech, and the Protoss really relatively low-tech right now. In come the Zerglings. The Mothership will fall. Will it be able to get off a Vortex? He needs to do it now! There's storms going on. The Zerglings, they're getting in on top of the High Templars. Archon's warping in. There's this unsmiley face from Kingavocado. Fungal's coming in. There's the blink underneath the Broodlords. This is madness. Or maybe it's Sparta. The Stalker's actually winning the fight. Transfuse coming up on one of the Broodlords. The other one will fall. And the Protoss player, Kingavocado's actually won the fight. He's pushed the Zerg back. Kingavocado, 182 supply to 92. And now moving in. Well, eventually he'll move in toward the 3rd base. There's only Corruptors left alive now for the Zerg. He's trying to make, well, the upgrades have nearly finished. That was almost the anti-timing for the engagement. In comes the Protoss force up toward the main. There's 3 Spine Crawlers here and a whole bunch of Zerglings. I don't think that's going to matter too much. He's setting up a little bit of a flank with his Zerglings. 5 Broodlords morphing up here. If he can lay siege to his opponent's 4th, he might have a chance. Kingavocado needs to go now. What is he doing? I'm so pumped. His 3 carriers still not engaging. He needs to just push up the ramp and end the game. I don't know what's going on here. Kingavocado instead taking a base down here. He's finally found his carriers. There we go. Now getting his army together. He just needs to push up and win. 3rd base nearly mined out. All the mining going on is up here. There's the gigantic probe transfer. Has he seen anything up there? No, still not yet. The carrier's now moving in. There's a couple of Archons now. Zealots warped in. He's maxed out. Zerglings running by, trying to do a counterattack. Zealots doing a lot of damage, though. Now the Stalkers are here. The Zerglings trying to run past. He's going to pick off more of them. This is a lot of units, and the cannons, I don't know if they're going to be enough, but this is buying him time. So much time being bought. And the Protoss army just kind of lackadaisical everywhere, spread out across the map. Now more Zerglings joining the fray. He needs to just do something. This is tearing my heart out. 29 workers killed the 9. And now he's back to defend his base. He's going to kill off the Zergling force. But there's more infestors on the way. More money being gathered by the Zergplayer. Those Lings still getting up here, doing a lot of damage. A couple of units being warped in, trying to help out. But he's so focused on defending his own base when he should be killing the Zerg right now. The Carriers and the Archons in a proxy position now. The Zealots will finally not quite clean this up. There's 4 Zerglings left alive. The multitasking not evident at all from our Protoss player. And the Zerg now has successfully gotten up his army. He's going Infestor Broodlord. And this game. He's finally cleaned up his own main. Now he can go on the attack. He needs to find his opponent's hatcheries that are hidden literally everywhere across the map, where he can move up and kill his tech. He's got so many choices available to him, and he's taking none of them. I can't overemphasize how much Kingavocado is throwing away the game. His army's gathering up. He's going to push in toward